My name is Jan. I live in Euclid. I'm a retired scientist, and I'm having fun in my retirement. I'm trying to mix having fun with giving back to the community. In my retirement, I decided to become a reading tutor for first and second and third graders, and I do that in Euclid here. And I also volunteer with Cleveland Metroparks and the Trail Ambassador for Cleveland Metroparks. And I fish on Lake Erie a lot. Oh, I've been fishing all my life. I started out as a little child fishing in ponds and graduated to streams and rivers and now lakes, big lakes, but for years now I've been fishing in Lake Erie. Well, I suppose my father taught me how to fish. He taught all of us kids. We all learned from him. I started out with a cane pole and a worm, and then graduated to a little more advanced equipment, as the years went by. I don't fish with a cane pole. My cousin and I had a cousin who was the same age as I am, and we fished a lot with our families. And when we were little, just like maybe 4 or 5 years old, we would catch bluegill, and we'd kiss them before we threw them back. I think that's kind of fun. I enjoy that tug on the end of that line. It's so exciting. You never know what you're going to pull out of the water. You just never know what it's going to be. It could be nothing. It could be a little bitty fish, or it could be a monster. Or one time I even pulled out a section of old drainage pipe out of the lake. You just never know what you're going to catch. It's just always exciting. I fish from 1 to 3 times a week in the summer. The fishing season goes from like May to October. And depending on the weather, we can fish 1 to 3 times a week. And that's what we try to do. Yeah, getting ready to fish is it's pretty complicated. If you're fishing on a boat, like I do, you not only have to have the right fishing equipment, you have to have equipment for being on the boat. You have to have a life jacket, you have to dress properly, you have to have a marine radio, so you could be safe on the boat. But the fishing part of it is, every fisherman has a tackle box with different lures in it, different hooks, all kinds of different lines and weights. So you have to have the right equipment for the fish you want to catch. So you make sure your tackle box is equipped the way you want it to be. You make sure your rods and reels are ready to go, and then you put all that together. Once you get on the boat, you start putting all that together. The last number of years, my favorite place has been Lake Erie. But all my life, I've lived in this area, and so I fished in all the inland lakes, a lot of the streams and rivers, and I like Lake Erie the best because that's my chances of catching something are the greatest on a boat on Lake Erie. Boy, when I'm on that boat, it feels like I'm on vacation. It feels like I'm hundreds of miles away from the city, even though I'm just a couple of miles offshore. If I look north, I don't see anything but the horizon. You can't see the Canadian shore. And if I look south, I can see the city, but I don't hear anything. I don't hear any of the city noises. It's very calm and peaceful. I just concentrate on the tip of that rod, and I just, keep my mind on weather conditions, and time flies. One time when I was about 10 or 12, I was fishing with my family on a lake in Canada. We were in a little boat sitting among lily pads, and I was fishing with a cane pole and a worm at that time. I was already 10 or 12, but I had a cane pole and a worm. And I saw this looked like a dead stick, this waterlogged stick floating in the water next to the boat. And next thing I know, it grabbed my worm. It bit my worm. It came alive and just bit my worm. So it was a 39-inch garfish, long-nosed garfish. And that was just a little shorter than I was tall, 39 inches. And I pulled it into the boat. And when it got in the boat, it let go of my worm, and it bit my bathing suit. I had a cloth belt that was hanging down off my bathing suit, and it grabbed onto that and wouldn't let go. And it was, thrashing around, flopping back and forth. And my dad had to beat it over the head to make it let go. So that's probably the best memory I've got, fishing memory I've got. I always fish with my partner, Brni. We go out together on the boat. I rarely go fishing alone. If I'm fishing alone, I'm not on the boat at the side of a pond or a small inlet lake. But usually it's with Brni, and occasionally we bring a friend or a family member along. My grandson Sean loves to fish, so we bring him pretty frequently, and he's a great fisherman. Well, the benefits of fishing in Cleveland are, if you want a walleye fish, Cleveland is the walleye capital of the world. And so that's a huge benefit. Walleye and perch are two of the most delicious fish I've ever eaten. A big challenge is the weather. You always have to watch the weather. It's very changeable. And another huge challenge is the ability to have a boat. I fished for years. I fished from the shore of Lake Erie, and I can't remember catching anything other than sheep's head or catfish. But once you get on a boat, then you really catch good quality fish. Initially, Lake Erie got extremely dirty, polluted, so the fishing almost died out. And then in more recent years, it's come back. It's very clean water now, and the fishing is very good. Plus, just fishing in general has changed. It's gone from a cane pole and a worm and a hook and a bobber to a pretty sophisticated equipment, really sophisticated equipment, which you don't need any of that. You don't need any sophisticated equipment, but everyone likes to have it. Yeah, we try to eat everything we catch. Anything that's too small to keep, we throw back, but anything that's the right size, we love to eat it. I like it best deep fried, breaded and deep fried. It's just delicious. Fishing's a pretty solitary activity. The only groups of fishermen I've ever been a part of or know about are like fishing parties on charter boats, for example. Otherwise, you're out in nature, and it's kind of a solitary activity. You might fish with another person or two, but I don't know huge groups of people that go fishing together. The best way to eat fish is with other people. So we have frequent fish fries. We invite family or friends over. So in that sense, having fish fries with family and friends, that's the way fishing can bring people together. I think fishing is valuable for everybody. You learn right away if you like it or you don't like it. It requires a lot of patience, attention to detail. The benefits of fishing are just being out in the outdoors, out in nature. It involves a lot more than just fishing. It involves looking around, seeing the wildlife in the area, noticing natural things that happen or don't happen, natural sounds. It's an all-encompassing experience. I think it's good for everybody. If you want to start fishing nowadays, I would recommend you Google it or watch videos on YouTube, and that'll get you all excited about catching fish. You can Google specific things: pond fishing, fishing for crappie, fishing for bluegill, just specific things, little things. And I suggest people start out small like that, because that gives them the practice in handling the tackle, handling the lures. Those hooks are pretty sharp. You could you could stick yourself to the book pretty easily. So start out like that, and maybe find a friend to fish with, an older person who would have more experience, and you could go along with them. They could show you different fishing spots and how they normally fish. Being a good neighbor means the golden rule: just do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Pay attention to people in trouble. I've helped people with broken bikes. I've helped people who are stuck in the snow. I've helped, drive them out of the snow, or push them or shovel them out of the snow, that sort of thing. Yeah, just look around and help. Treat others the way you want to be treated.